Yo! Welcome to the Larter Show. Dude, we gotta get that.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Right, let's go back so they can see that we're matching.
Oh yeah, we're wearing the same shirt. This
Unplanned.
Is not unplanned.
Mm-hmm. Welcome everybody to the Larter Show, IRL yet again.
Yeah.
It's about damn time we did it. When was the last time we had a show? I know there's been a little bit of a gap, but
it was like October, I think.
Oh really?
Was it my birthday? It was my birthday weekend.
No, there must have been one in November.
Oh no, that we did the Larter Show?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I was talking about like in person.
Oh, in person. Yeah.
Yeah, we did one in October, but the last one was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we just didn't have one last week because I had kind of a bro moment shit day. So, but now we're
back at it again.
We're cooking.
Back at it again.
So, why don't you?
Okay. So for the premise of this one, we decided we would choose 5 things.
5 things.
Specifically, those things include music, movies, TV shows, video games, books, and things that are like that.
We don't use the word media.
Yeah. Okay. So we were we originally talked we use this word all the time. We say media meaning things that are within that category or similar to it. You can also say art, but then right before we started this, I'm like, it sounds so dorky to say media.
Yeah.
It just does to say media or to say art. So it's just things, I guess, until someone comes up with a better word.
Do you ever read that book? What was it called? Like Fringle? You ever read that book? It was like the concept of the book was this kid was just like wow, they should. No, it was Frindle.
Frindle. That sounds familiar.
It was like this kid. This kid was like, I'm just gonna start calling pins Frindles.
Oh no, I remember that. Yeah. That's crazy. Oh my god, that I think that was like a big what do they call it? Like the book fair.
Yeah,
I feel like they were pushing that at all the book fairs. Yeah. I remember reading that and thinking it was so dumb, and then I stopped reading.
I was like, this is cool, dude.
I'm gonna call this a Frindle.
I'm gonna call this a Frindle.
Yeah, I don't. God, wow, that's crazy. I didn't even know I knew what that was till you brought up the premise. But yeah, so we're talking about things that we saw, read, watched, played this year.
Yeah.
I don't think this was a stipulation, but I had it so that it was all stuff that came out this year.
Okay, I didn't do that.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, yeah, I just did it because I thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
And, a lot of my favorite things are things that came out this year.
How many of mine came out this year?
Don't show me.
Technically, none of these things came out this year.
None of them?
Technically.
Okay.
2 of them are 2023.
Okay.
One of them is kind of came out this year. We'll get to it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Cool. So, I guess we should do the honorary coin flip to decide who goes first.
Dude.
There's no coins, so I'll flip your disc over here.
Dude.
Your heart.
Oh, wait, let me do it
Wait, what is this?
Oh, that's an Amazon gift card. Don't show the code. I already used it, so it's fine.
Can I flip this box?
Wait, let me just look up coin
flip.
No.
No. All right, smile. I go first. Back. You go first. Ready? Oh, that complicates things. It came apart.
I think that's back.
No. Let's try that again with just this side. So okay. All right, back. You go front. I go.
Okay.
I go.
You go.
Okay. So, I'll start. I'll also say for mine, I did a different medium for each one of my things.
Ooh.
For kicks. Just because it made it easier for me, because I don't know. I mean, everyone knows now that I don't like lists, or I guess specifically ranking things. I don't like ranking things, and I feel like having each thing be in a different medium made it easier to. We have the chat up twice.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. It's there.
I think this helped me like narrow it down and like not have to like compare stuff as much. So
Yeah.
it just made it easier for me that way. So my very first thing, is a book,
Book.
and it's
You read that shit, dude?
Yep. I actually read a decent number of books, more than usual this year. But one series that I read a lot of, and I particularly enjoyed this installment of, is God Emperor of Doom.
I don't know what that is.
Dune?
Oh, Dune. I think
Yeah.
you said Doom.
No.
God
Dune.
Emperor of
I said
Doom.
it like Dune.
Yeah, Dune.
But yeah, I meant, well, yeah. It's from the Dune series, but the book is God Emperor.
They're still making Dune books?
No, this came out in like the 80s.
I thought you said this is the only things
oh,
like
wait.
that.
Well, you're right. I don't know why I said that.
You don't know.
Um,
Dude, there's already.
I guess that's the only one exception. I don't know why I said. I'm like losing my mind. Okay, everything else came out this year.
Okay.
This is the only exception. I don't know why I forgot that. Yeah, I guess I don't really read any current books, but yeah, this one. I mean, like Dune came out this year.
Yeah,
the movie.
Dune
So
2.
I feel like that's part of the reason why I thought of it that way. Also, they are still making Dune books, but they suck. And the guy, I've heard they're like contentious anyway. And it's like the guy's son is making them now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like read a bunch of the Dune series. I was like peak Dune mania in like, what was it, like February the movie came out. And I'd been reading all the books. There's 6 books in the main Dune series. The movie that came out is only on the first book, and then God Emperor of Dune is the 4th book.
I know they're doing Dune Messiah next, which I assume is the second book.
The second one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so God Emperor of Dune, I just really like because it's like conceptually so strange and like out there. Do you care about spoilers?
No,
I'm not gonna spoil like everything because there's some cool stuff I think. Like if you were to ever get into it, it's worth checking out. But just like conceptually, the whole thing is that it takes place. Oh my god, I think like 10,000 years after the previous book, which I think is really cool. And there's like a big old guy who's been alive that whole time, and he can see the future. Like he has complete omniscience.
Omnipotence?
Or like not omnipotence, but like he can see the future. Clairvoyance? I don't know. He can see the future like perfectly. Also, he holds the memory of all of his ancestors like within him. So he knows like everything about the world and can predict the future perfectly. So he's a very interesting character. He is called the God Emperor of Dune. And I think literally almost off that character alone, I think it's like awesome in my book. I really enjoyed it. The story is like very interesting. The only thing I didn't like, there's like really random homophobia in that book that like comes out of nowhere.
It's like that MF Doom album.
Kind of, yeah. It's like that MF Doom album. There's just like a random part. I think it's like homophobic against what's it called? Against like lesbians, which like is also like more uncommon. I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, like one of the I guess you could kind of call him the main character. Like one of the main characters of the book is just randomly like, women being together, that's horrible, or something like that.
Oh my god.
What the hell? And then I found out that Frank Herbert disowned his gay son, which is interesting to learn about. It's unfortunate and horrible.
It's like when you learn the author of Ender's Game is like super homophobic.
Oh, he is?
Did you not know about this?
No,
he's like famously like really homophobic.
Interesting.
Which is like weird because that book like connects with a lot of like people connect with that book.
Interesting.
So it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, that's like strange. I think I kind of see it because there's like a whole thing of like, I don't know if you can call it like what's the word, like there's one of the big plot points of the Dune series is like selectively breeding people.
Yeah.
Like so that specific traits are, or like I guess kind of like eugenics adjacent. I'm like making this book sound horrible and evil, but it's not really like totally obsessed with that. But I could kind of see how focusing on that as a concept could lead to someone being against people being in like the like norm.
I've talked with like Leo about this before because he's a big fan of H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we've kind of talked about this.
Yeah.
And I was talking about it in like the context of like John Lennon,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like artists who do like bad things, like that
Mhm.
can make the art more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
in
like
some
genuinely,
ways.
like with H.P.
Yeah.
Lovecraft, like this guy was like genuinely just really afraid of minorities,
Yeah.
and that like shows in his and like John Lennon, like
Yeah.
I think like his, like the stuff about him that was bad,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of being a deadbeat and like
Mhm.
being abusive,
Mm-hmm.
like makes him more compelling as a songwriter, even if the actions themselves were terrible. Like it makes the art
Yeah.
more interesting.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, it's like the Dune series is really interesting, and I think like if nothing else, it's just like a real like marvel that it was able to do so much stuff in the series, like conceptually and like story wise. And yeah, as far as like what it's saying, like as a piece of art or whatever, is like kind of ambiguous, but like I think that's like of all of them, I think God Emperor of Dune is the most like it basically poses the question like what if there's a guy who's like omnipotent and I mean like basically like all knowing for all intents and purposes and he just did evil stuff all the time.
You see,
Like
as he
oh
that
yeah,
omnipotence is total power, and how do you pronounce that?
omniscience.
Omniscience is total knowledge.
Yeah, so I think it's omniscience.
Yeah.
Omniscience. Yeah, so he has complete knowledge of like past and future basically, and is like low key. I don't know. He just does like a lot of evil stuff, but it like the whole thing is told from the perspective or like a bunch of